Hello, hello.
How are you?
We still don't have Adrian.
Hello.
Well, I know we've got a few people already on right now. Waiting on a few more. I see Jeremy. Jeremy, are you going to sit? Jeremy is backstage, so he is actually here, but he is not here. I'm waiting for him to start sending the link out.
Cool. How is everybody tonight?
Hey, Sean.
Good. Once we got past the technical difficulties.
Good.
Is it still echoing?
Yeah, now it's
Turn your
echoing.
mic down.
Me?
Yeah.
Or your speakers. Turn your speakers down.
Or turn the echo effect off.
Is that better?
Is that better?
He would have to.
Yes.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I like her.
She's great. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, I've
you
been on
know-
hiatus for a hot minute.
Well, you know Paul, and you know my wife Morgan, but this
Wow.
is the rest of my team.
My wife.
Wow.
This is Josh Gorham, and then in the middle you see Roger Felter, and then on the right-hand side is Amanda Yellett. And those are all people that you're going to meet in the future at some point whenever we get back to Mississippi.
Miss?
I'm game. Now what is everybody like? What's everybody's primary focus on an investigation?
Our claim to fame.
Well, I mean, you're with Marcus, so I know that ain't the case.
Dang.
Y'all have not figured out. I love to rag him since the second I met him.
So, Amanda, you can start. Tell her what it is that you do and what brought you to the team.
Well, Marcus brought me to, I brought myself to the team because I just love Marcus so much.
Please don't let lightning hit.
You missed the wink.
And I thought I could maybe help a little bit as far as organization goes and maybe some social media stuff, which I'm really terrible at, but I've tried to be so good. and that's why I'm here, because I just adore Marcus and Morgan.
And then, of course, Roger is not in the same house as Amanda.
Absolutely not.
So Roger, what do you
do, Roger?
Take too long to fix technical issues. Apparently. Marcus and Morgan brought me on because I have an electrical background, a little bit of hobby electronics background. God, I don't like that I can hear myself. And I met your buzzer. So he wanted me to possibly construct a few items, a few tools to use in investigations. So, and I've done a few of them, but I want to get more into it. So I think it's cool.
The engineer of the group.
The engineer, yeah. Engineer, technical advisor, I would say.
Yeah, you want the role. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but
so we got techie titles now.
That's right. And
we have technical difficulties.
We got plenty of those.
One thing about Roger that really surprised me that I did not expect was how in tune he is when we're on an investigation. He is absolutely, if there is contact to be made, I would bet money that he would make contact probably almost before me in certain situations. he's just that in tune. So absolutely happy to have him. I wouldn't want to do it without him.
I think I chalk it up to just being completely honest because I have had some experiences in the past with the paranormal, both visual and physical. So I just go into it with an unbiased opinion as to what the outcome may be. So maybe that neutral energy that I'm emoting either attracts or repels, depending on the type of entity that's around. But that's me. I don't know.
Yeah. And then one more square over, we have Mr. Josh Gorham. And he took a small hiatus from the team to be with his family and kids and take time out. And he is back full throttle. And you know what? I call him the explorer because he's the guy that we send into places that we don't want to really go.
Yeah, that's usually really terrifying.
Exactly.
You call him the explorer, I call him Dora.
Good thing we can't hear what you're saying.
Golly.
So, so Josh is one of those people that you really want to have around, because for some reason, evidence always presents itself to him, and usually in unique ways. So there's a couple of probably 100 stories that he could share. But maybe a little later. There's Adrian. Maybe a little
Somebody
later,
just-
we can get him to share one of his terrifying tales from the beyond.
Can I just say first, can you hear me real quick?
Yes.
Okay. He's also a fan favorite from his reactions, which I'm a fan
Yeah.
of his reactions.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off before you got started, Josh, but go ahead, brother.
What was the question? Sorry, I got a house full of kids screaming in the other room.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So this is Miss Adrian, and she is from Illinois,
No,
I'm from Colorado.
Colorado. I was so close.
She's like, please.
They both start with a C, so it's great.
That's right. That's right.
And just in case Nick is listening, it's Illinois.
He's so pretty.
See, Jeremy knew where I was going to go with it.
That's right, Illinois. So, Miss Adrian, I know you didn't meet the team yet, but this is the rest of you know. You've met Paul. This is my wife, Morgan. And then there's Miss Amanda Yellett, who is the driving force behind our presence in the internet world. And then in the middle, you have Mr.
Straightforward.
And then you have Mr. Roger Forward. You have Mr. Roger Felter, who is a phenomenal electrician and engineer and designer and very intuitive. And then just on the side of him, you have Mr. Josh Gorham, who is the guy that we send to places that we don't want to go.
Because he's brave.
Because he's very brave and strong.
So brave. You're so brave.
I don't know if I'd call it brave, but
It's definitely not fair.
maybe more accepting of his fate, I guess you would say.
Brave enough to go and smart enough to know when to leave.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
So, Josh, I
Guys,
think the initial
that might-
question
Oh, go ahead.
was,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, the initial question that you were asking for was maybe, Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong, you're asking just for one little snippet of an experience? Is that
Yes.
what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. From Josh.
So Josh, if you had to describe your experience with spirit guides in one, if you had to sum it all up in one experience that you've had, what would that be?
I assume you're asking for like the best experience.
Yeah,
Ooh, or the worst.
or the worst.
They might go with the one and the same as down in that tunnel in that Durider jail.
First investigation.
The scratching on the walls, and I was all by myself. The only thing I did see was a red light on the camera from y'all about 50 feet away.
Did you ever figure out what it was?
No, I wanted to leave very instantly.
Well, I'm glad to know that we all have our limitations and we don't just all stay there just for, I'm not sure what they do it for, just to say they did. I don't even know.
Maybe just to make contact.
Well, yes, but when something threatens you and they still go, oh, look, you were good, but I'm going to stay right here and maybe you can, gather the film at some point. And
But actually, at that particular time, the thing actually said threat.
that's
Yeah.
pretty compelling.
Yeah, that's a
I
time to
think
go.
I'll-
Normal.
Then I casually left.
Something tells me it probably wasn't very casual.
That was casual?
So if you watch our intros that we've built the past few years, Jeremy had mentioned a couple of times before that he really liked our fire intro. And so Morgan is our fire dancer who does the intros with us. So that's a really cool, unique thing to have on the team, is somebody who can sling fire at the spirits if they decide to turn sideways.
How many times have you had to sling fire at a spirit, Morgan?
Oh, I don't know. Too many to count, actually.
Marcus doesn't count as a spirit.
I live with him. This doll, though, I mean.
Well,
I'm sorry. I mean, I would
So-
never sling fire at you. What's her name, Elizabeth?
so we moved into our new house a month ago, a little over a month ago, and now I have my own office for spirit guides. And so I've moved all of my haunted items that I've collected into my office. And one of them is a doll named Penelope. One of them is a doll named Elizabeth. And
Miss Stanley?
no. And so then I have some tap shoes. I have some mirrors. I have many haunted items that people have asked me to come pick up. And so Morgan would like to show you Elizabeth.
She's so pretty.
She is.
How do you get her closer?
She is very,
That's a no.
very.
Whoa!
Pretty.
She lost her hat.
She's very pretty, but she's also very inhabited. And
She's pretty old, isn't she?
she's very old. I'm not even certain of the year, but I know that she's old enough that she is actually splitting in the middle of her body.
I was going to say, to find out her age, cut her in half and count the rings.
If we wait
Count
long
the
enough,
rings.
it'll just
Done with it.
Is there a marking on the back of her neck? A stamp?
Mm-mm.
And
No.
I'm here. I'm just eating.
Oh, no. Okay.
What does that mean?
A lot of times they'll have a stamp on the back of their neck, and if you Google it, it'll trace it back to the year, the maker, all of that.
No, she doesn't have a stamp.
Hey, Marcus, check her butt. See if there's one on her butt.
Late 1800s, maybe early 19.
We'll do it off camera so she doesn't get embarrassed.
I think that she's probably
That's
early
very kind of
19,
you.
if I had to guess. Yeah.
So those objects there, have you verified all of them that they
I have.
are? Okay.
I have. Yes.
And all the
so,
little attachments get along?
So I had Penelope in my truck for about 6 months before I removed her, because I just didn't have time to deal with her. And
that's
in those 6 months, yeah, in those 6 months, gosh, so many things happened. But the ultimate thing that happened was a tree fell on my truck. Yeah. A tree fell on my truck and actually almost crushed the driver's side of my truck. Oh, the light went out on the driver's side of my truck one at a time, only on the driver's side of my truck, which she was on. And so that was very interesting. Then whenever, no, not that one. The one that's in the bag.
Oh, I'm not touching that one.
So,
I can't get it anyway.
so it was the lights went out, and then whenever I did remove her from my truck, my driver's side headlight had gone out, the dome light, the rear dome light, and then the tree fell on my truck. And so then I removed her from my truck, and my headlight came back, and the dent did not fix itself, though. I was hoping.
Yeah, probably not so much.
Yeah, no. So, but we are going to shoot a haunted object episode soon. And so we're going to take all of these objects and in season 5, and we are going to explore them individually, and hopefully that episode turns out some good evidence.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. And I just set up a new burn barrel in my yard, so
Right.
that'll be good.
Right. Yeah.
I have people all the time asking me to take, whatever, but I haven't found anything that's actually got an attachment to it. Or
Yeah.
at least not here.
Those mirrors.
Yeah. So we have a set of mirrors that somebody contacted me and said, "Hey, I have these mirrors, and I would like to get rid of them." And so they've been blacked out right now.
Okay.
They wanted to get rid of them because the mirrors were causing, according to these people, the mirrors were causing people to get sick. They were causing, whenever you would walk by the hallway and look in the mirror, you would see things behind you. And it was just, it was really causing a bit of a psychological issue.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'll come pick them up. And so I did. And according to them, everything has stopped. I've picked up some EMF on the mirrors themselves, but that's the only thing that I've picked up. I haven't done any further exploring into those.
Yeah, I know I did, when the big thing, of course, trends come and go, but, the big thing was the mirrors facing each other as a portal,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
I decided, let's find out.
Right.
Why not? We're investigators. Let's do this. So I had a mirror on my headboard. I had my vanity right in front of the bed. I had those big chest dressers with a mirror on one side and hung a mirror on the other side. So it was 4.
You're like, I'm gonna get
Hey,
busted in this
dude,
world.
Adrian, you're making it so hard for me not to make a comment right now, but keep going.
Oh, comment away. I'm sure
I
can
will.
come back.
I will.
Go ahead, Roger. Let's see if we
Go
can
ahead.
same brain.
Are you suggesting there's a 5th mirror?
No.
That, and there's a reason she has them where she has them.
See,
Yep.
Eileen, I know I liked you too.
No, not at that point in life. I didn't even like my husband at that point in life.
Dang.
The house that we purchased about 3 years ago, it's a small house, probably 1,000 square feet. They had so many mirrors in this house.
Oh.
And it was 13 mirrors inside this house. And in the bathroom, there were 2 of them that were facing each other. There were 4 mirrors in the bathroom,
Wow.
Wow.
one on each wall, and they were facing each other. Kind of
We
weird.
had Facing each other in the back.
We did. Yeah.
I understand that though, because it's really hard to hold a mirror and look at the back of your hair. So I
Yeah.
get that.
Who needs
Yeah,
to
we'll
see
go
the
with
back
that.
of their hair?
Okay,
Right.
well, that's
Definitely not
fair.
me.
I'm
Your
sure.
husband.
Josh does.
Josh,
Definitely.
Gosh, definitely.
Josh.
oh, Adrian. So since I've been on hiatus a long,
Again,
I
no.
hadn't even
No.
talked to the guys much. But I got to tell you what happened at my house the other day.
What happened at
So
your house?
it wasn't what just happened at your house, but
No, that was a fly.
But so I've been sleeping on the couch a lot because the cats have been bothering me in my bedroom. So I laid my vape, same spot I laid my vape every night. I laid my vape down, went to sleep, woke up. It's like, I'm going to grab my vape. So I grabbed it. It wasn't my vape. It was eardrops.
Oh.
Eardrops were not on my coffee table when I went to bed.
Are you saying vape?
Vape. And
Oh,
I
I
still
thought
have
you
not
were
found this
saying-
vape. The dog was put up. Everybody was asleep. I have yet to find my vape in the house.
Oh, that's
Somebody
weird.
trying to kill you.
But what was funny was
With the eardrops?
were in the exact same spot I had my vape.
And you always put your vape at the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Does your son, has he taken up vaping?
Well, he was asleep, but he wouldn't have thought to go get my eardrops and put my eardrops on the.
You
Don't
just
know
seen
the
it.
Put my
However
Diet Coke or
kid
something.
that wants something.
But no, he was sound asleep. But yeah, it was like because I think, and I was only asleep a couple hours.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Sounds
it
like
was,
it's time
it
to
was
make a trip to
funny 'cause-
Mississippi.
Huh?
Sounds like it's time for us to make a trip to Mississippi.
Shoot. No, I
tell
ain't
you what.
stupid enough to do my own house. The kitchen door, Michael will call me. The kitchen door opened again and shut. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What are you gonna do? It's
Tell
not
them while
hurting
they're
you.
there to start cleaning the house. I mean,
Why
if they're gonna
can't
be there,
why
they need to
can't
work.
spirits do that? They can move things, but I've never heard someone say the spirit washed the dishes or vacuumed or
Right.
did the, why?
That's what I'm screaming. If you're here, you're not paying rent. You can at least clean.
I mean, and some of them probably enjoyed cleaning.
I'm sure they did, or that was their job in life, or
Right.
Me. Is that me as a ghost?
That's you as a ghost. I didn't want to say.
Using the old school vacuum cleaners.
Right. The ones with the
That
plunger
would
on.
take so much energy that,
No,
that's not even possible.
No.
The Kirby's, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. There's
Oh,
one
those-
upstairs, and that's where it's going to stay until everybody here passes away, and then it's going to go to the dump.
We got to come to Colorado and get your Kirby.
You girl,
Hey.
welcome to it.
I'll be there next week.
You are
Oh,
welcome to
you
it.
will.
Oh, you will.
I tell you what, in this house here, you're talking about things. I thought it was a joke because mom and dad are older. As you get older, you forget where you put things. I forget where I put things. And she's like, money came up missing. And I'm like, And $1,200. And I'm like, it didn't just come up missing. I'm sorry. Not what you think. So I spaced that off. All of a sudden, keys come up missing. I'm like, okay, so dad don't know where he put stuff. It's fine. Until it started happening down here with us.
Interesting.
I'm talking jars of things gone for a week. They're right there where you looked a week ago. They're right there. Nobody can come down these stairs except for me and Zach.
Interesting.
All kinds of shit moving. I'm like, just talk to me. I can hear you. I can communicate. Talk. Why do you need to do this shit?
Maybe that's the only way they can communicate to you.
I guess so. There's one man here that it's been in the last 6 months that I don't think he belongs here. I know what he's wearing, and he's got red facial hair, which is really strange, but it's real short, like Josh's, real short to his face. And
Yeah, that's what I say too. I'm not bald. I just keep it real short.
there you
I
go.
like it.
But he comes around and just stands. He'll just stand there. And then he'll be gone, and then stand at my bed and be gone. I still have no clue what the hell. He's not family. I don't know who he is.
Well, I think whatever's here, because I've always got this feeling it's a female and it doesn't belong. It doesn't it's not from the house. I know it's not from the house, but because some weird things, you see things out of the corner of your eyes and at night, everybody's doors are shut, but you'll see things just move by, even past a window or whatever. And I'm like Marcus. I've been here a lot longer than Marcus, and still isn't. I'm not completely moved in. And it
We're
is.
not either. Don't feel
truly feel. I truly feel as a female that doesn't live here.
Does she feel
So-
threatening though?
No,
Well,
I don't even know. For some reason, I don't even feel like she even notices us as much.
Residual.
Yeah, well, not even residual though. I think she's here, but she just doesn't pay attention to us. She doesn't care.
Okay. That way she's not messing with you. That's okay.
She doesn't care. We don't care. Okay. It's just it'll freak the Michael out sometimes. He's like, because one time the kitchen door was open, the dog came out. But that's the only problem I have. Just don't let my dog out.
You have a cat, you said?
Huh? Oh,
You have a cat, you said?
I got 3 cats, but the dog. Okay, so I have a weird situation right now. We
I was
moved
just
from
wondering
what
how
up.
the cat's reaction to
Well,
things happening in the house.
the cats aren't really allowed in the majority of the house, or actually in all but one room, because we inherited this home, and it's a fixer-upper, and but it's not like dilapidated or anything. But it's a fixer-upper, and so we moved from a 5-bedroom, basically with like 2 bonus rooms, to a 3-bedroom box, pretty much. Well, in the process of moving, we adopted, or it adopted us, I think, a German Shepherd. Well, we had 2 houses for a year, Adrian? We had 2 houses.
Oh yeah.
And so the dog lived here because this house has been pretty much equipped for a German Shepherd since the 70s, because that's all my father-in-law owned. So the doggy door is big enough for him and all that. So he lived here. The cats lived at my other house. Well, at the time I had 3 cats, 3 ferrets, 4 lizards. So before we moved here, all the ferrets had passed away. And then the cats came. Well, the dog now, this is the dog's home. So the dog isn't quite acclimated to the cats. So the cats have to stay in 1 bedroom, but the bedroom's like a 20 by 20. So it's a big room.
How long do you expect that to go on? They haven't been acclimated for a year. How long are you going to do this?
Don't that's sore subject there.
I bet it is, because that shit would come to an end.
But we can't chance the dog
You
harming
lost
the
me
cat.
at 3 ferrets.
I saw your face, Josh.
What I gathered from that whole montage was that you owned 2 houses, adopted a huge beast that co-mingles with your small beasts, and you are a walking weird scenario.
Well, first of all, it doesn't commingle, so you're already off right there.
The beasts don't commingle. That's why the cats have to be stuck in 1 bedroom.
Oh,
That's why I'm on the couch.
apologies. I'm so sorry. You adopted a huge
And that's
beast that
why
does
she's
not
on the
commingle
couch.
with your
And
small
that's
beast.
why you're on the couch.
I cannot sleep in a bedroom with 3 cats that are confined to a room because they love to jump on you at 2 a.m. because they have nowhere else to go.
You just
And they love your vape.
you just think that was cats jumping on you at 2 a.m.
You understand you're human. And you are the superior being over these animals, correct?
Ooh, do you own animals?
I'm about to say,
Me?
Yes,
Six.
ma'am.
Six.
And you own, and you're the supreme being over them?
When it's time to go to bed and where they're going to say, yes.
Oh, wow. Can you teach me?
man, you've seen Ziva. Ziva's the queen bee.
Yes.
So yeah, she's my queen bee. You don't mess with Ziva. I'm more scared of Ziva than I am the German Shepherd.
It's more, don't mess with my sleep. There would be some things going on there that, no. I mean, they can be like in their own little cubbies or something at night where you can sleep.
Could I hijack it for just a second?
What?
What, Marcus?
Could I hijack it for just a second? I want to. We have somebody watching named Paisley, and she really enjoys our show. So, hi Paisley, thank you for tuning in
Shelly and Paisley.
and checking us
I
out.
can't see your comment, but hi.
I wasn't. It must just be
They
showing.
texted
But
me.
hey,
They're watching.
oh, y'all jump in the comments. If y'all have questions, we just run our mouth.
We
And
do. And you guys all know you're part of the conversation. Just
For sure.
like
And
that.
So,
There's a totally different reason why your cat doesn't go in the bathroom. And oh my gosh, Childers.
bedroom,
Children.
not bathroom.
hey,
Oh, bedroom. Okay, I was about to say, well, that too.
We beg our cat to come sleep with us at night.
Well, my husband does have the cat sleep with him because one sleeps on the chest, one sleeps above the head, and one sleeps on the side.
Oh, geez. I'm not sure I could do all that.
I think it's been too long since you haven't seen the brood for a while.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. They have gotten quite large. See if I can get him to let him in.
Well, Bear looks like an adult now. Sorry, we're all on pets now. We're you know.
Welcome to Pet Chat.
I still want to.
Speaking of, I need to go put my chickens up.
Wait, and now we're talking about me and ferrets. And she's talking about chickens.
You might be country if you have to stop an interview so you can go.
No, I'm going to bring you with me. Marcus, you want to go wrangle the chickens up?
I did last time. I did really good too. You were proud of me.
I don't know if my internet will reach.
It'll reach.
Backstage, there's this guy in chat named David Childers.
Jeremy, that's funny.
Why don't we
That is funny.
block him?
No, he's.
For y'all that don't know, David's my brother, so I pick on him worse than I do Marcus. Let's see the chicken. We gotta see the chicken.
We'll see it. Well, we'll see if you can see in there. I don't know.
You turn on that red light district inside there.
Yep.
Is she in Louisiana? Are y'all in Louisiana too?
Yes.
Yep, we're in Louisiana.
So much daylight.
Yep, that's a lot of day. There they are.
Come here, girl.
Chicken, Jeremy, pull it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
Jeremy, do your job.
Jeremy,
Where? Oh, there. There they go.
Oh my god.
Maybe turn off the light. It might help a little bit.
That's a
Awesome.
big coop too.
What
The red
kind are
light
they?
district.
No,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know what kind they are.
They look like leghorns.
Yeah, they're not, but they do look like that. They're small though. I mean, look how tiny she is.
Oh.
She's pretty small. Alrighty, we'll collect eggs.
That reminds me, my family's all from the country out here, and my husband's a very, very city boy. We pulled up into my cousin's driveway, and like all these chickens came out to the car. My husband didn't know what to do.
Oh no. See,
Sean?
you haven't seen this one for a while.
Let me see. Oh my goodness!
Can I pet that dog?
Oh
Wow.
my goodness!
No,
No, you can deal with the longhorns. That got too many flies
We
around.
got a good
So-
sky tonight.
Josh is going to have to go. He's got to go and take care of his kids. But if anybody had anything they wanted to ask him before he goes, as the explorer of the group,
Where's
Where are
the
you
one-
going next?
What?
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Adrian.
Andrew. Where are you going next?
To the a theater.
that's right.
And there's a scary place in there. It's the projector room that I went last time we were there.
Oh, the closet.
Or the closet. Yeah, there was a dirty little janitor closet.
Here
That,
it's
something hit me in the face in there, or something like that. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Wow.
not okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it threw like a cable at you or something.
yeah. It was like a wire or something hit me in the face.
Do you video it and put it out?
Yeah, I have it on video.
Do you
Yeah.
put it out at all, or is it for the show?
It's
on the show.
no, well, it's actually already out. That episode is already out.
Okay.
Yeah, Adrian, if you watch. No.
So I can only be led to believe I'll be back in that closet. No pun intended, of course.
Where's the one place that that you would really want to go?
Well,
With that being kind of what your thing is.
I would think for a place I'd like to go would be more like to go back to is Yorktown Memorial Hospital. Unfortunately, it was just me and Marcus that got to go, and Paul was having a moment and couldn't make it.
I was in an actual hospital at the time.
So I think it'd be really. I think that just came with its own trials and tribulations. Just because we started late, we definitely need to go in the winter because it was very very hot in there. But I think that'd be a fun place to do again with
More people.
all of us.
Yeah.
We'll probably get better experience out of it because I mean, some things happened. Marcus got scratched. It was a really cool place. It was really creepy, but I kind of expected more out of it. And I don't know, maybe it's because we didn't have our team there. We had a different team with us. There was all kinds of different things that could have thrown it off maybe. So I'd like to do it again.
Absolutely.
And it's not that far away.
It's always good to have the people that you know and trust and can just kind of look over and like, did you see that without saying a word?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a nice group that was with us, but I mean, but yeah, watch the episode, you'll see.
Yeah, Jeremy just put up the link.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Several people did.
Good for something, even though he ain't on here.
That
But,
basement was we could have gotten lost in that basement if you're not careful, you get lost down there.
Yeah, it was really interesting down there. And we didn't find they had a jail cell down there. We didn't find that till like at the end, and we were there for quite a long time. But we didn't get to explore it during daylight hours due to the person to open the door. I think forgot about us.
Oh, golly.
Yes. Yes, that was a late start, but I mean, I guess whenever you're a spirit and you're living somewhere rent free, it's okay.
Yeah, that wasn't his exact words that he used. They don't pay rent here.
That's about right. I know the Salina Masonic Temple, that basement.
Is that
you
in
can walk
Kansas?
in so easy.
Is that in Kansas?
The sub basement. Oh my gosh.
I used to live in I was in the Army. I was in Fort Riley in Junction City.
Okay.
So we don't like
Yeah.
Kansas. Kansas wasn't our funnest state. So,
Yeah, I grew up in Garden City, so yeah.
but I unfortunately I have to go. I have two elementary age kids that have to get to bed because they got school in the morning.
All right. Well, thank you for
It was
joining
nice
us,
meeting you,
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah, y'all as well.
Later, Josh.
See
Thanks,
y'all.
coming up.
Oh, man.
See, y'all could all sit up proper. See, I'm just kicked back on the couch.
Me too.
I'm leaning back,
Oh,
sitting in my
that's
truck.
you're in your bed like you usually are, except now the couch is your bed.
See,
Y'all
that's
give
why I
me
did
shit
it.
about
That's
eating.
exactly why.
Y'all give me shit about eating, and we're gonna give you shit about laying on the bed.
Hey, I did already eat. I went off screen and I ate.
Did
Well,
you have
I
hot dog?
I wouldn't eat what you were eating online either.
Yeah, no.
Paul, you still in your truck?
I'm sitting out. Look, there we go. I'm in my truck.
You're laying down too?
I'm leaning back in my truck seat.
You got a good sky out there.
See,
It's
Look
pretty.
at that
yeah.
sky.
Yeah,
been-
that's a
y'all are
gorgeous
just,
sunset.
And sunrise.
It's
See,
pretty.
I
I got
don't
the
get to
red
rest
haze behind me.
I
Hey,
don't get
turn
to
that
rest
camera the other way, Paul.
often.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah, show them the sky over the South Sulphur.
South Sulphur.
No, I'm not showing them the industries. Are you crazy?
The
The beautiful.
yeah, the beautiful
petrochemical
lights.
plants.
Are you gonna do it, Amanda?
I can't believe how
What?
daylight. How
Oh,
much
not the plants,
daylight
no.
She's actually showing the sky.
I mean, I'm looking out the
Know where
windows
the-
and y'all
oh,
got
there
a
it is.
lot more daylight than I do.
Yeah, well, it's because we're brighter people. So, so Paul and Roger and Amanda all live in Sulphur in the same town.
Hey, why you gotta call out our town, bro?
No,
And
we're
then
not
Josh
Sulphur. We're in
lives-
Carlos.
Josh
We're
lives
2
in
blocks
Lake
away
Charles,
from town.
and then Morgan and I live about 30 minutes east of them. So
Call your
y'all-
town's name out too.
we're all relatively close.
Call your town's name out too.
So we live in Lacassine.
You know, oh, there you go. Lacassine. I mean, Lacassine.
The scene.
Like
So,
a scene.
No. The cool kids are calling it the scene these days.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's
I
cool
don't
kids?
think I'll let people say that. So we bought
I don't
this
know any of
house,
those.
I have a text message from Morgan that begs to differ.
and Adrian, you'll appreciate this. We bought this house, and we are literally 25 to 50 feet from a graveyard
Oh,
right next door. So it's really kind of awesome at night here.
I bet.
I really enjoy the area that we're in. It's nice. So a lot of communication.
Do you have a camera set up toward the graveyard?
Oh, that'd be
No,
cool.
not yet. But once I
That
get
guy-
everything
Motion sensors at night.
right, it's
You can't do
It's
motion
IR.
sensors. You forget about the mosquitoes in the south.
Well, I mean, you have to weed through it, but yeah. I mean, like we have it in our hallway, that red hallway, and when you get notifications, you have to kind of weed through dust particles and anything that looks like a little dot. You just scroll on
Yeah.
through. But
Our house is wrapped in cameras, and the thing that always gives notifications are spider webs. So
Mhm.
every once in a while, I'll go up there with a broom or something and sweep the spider webs away.
yeah.
But we have like 7 or 8 cameras around the house.
I think ours is in the wintertime, it's when the heat comes on, which
Hmm.
this house is built in 1908. It still has
wow.
the radiator heaters,
Nice with a
Yeah,
boiler.
that's awesome.
With
and
a
they
bowler.
still work. So, with the heat, all the dust rises off the radiators, and when they kick on. So,
of course.
so I have to be real careful with all that. Now, I don't do the orbs thing anyway, because they're
Orbs. Me and you're on the same page. Those are not orbs. Those are dust bunnies.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, get Paul and Marcus on this back and forth.
Me and Marcus we do not see eye to eye about orbs.
I look at it as, is it emitting its own light, or is the IR camera emitting the light? Is what I look at.
It's
But I'm not
reflecting.
posting any of it because there's too much controversy.
I like to leave it up to the individual's
Right,
discretion.
right.
You can't leave it up to the individual's discretion when you say, "Look at this orb."
But it's technically an orb.
I was going
It
to say,
is.
it's round,
It is.
it's a globe, it's an
It
orb.
is not an orb. It is a dust.
Jeremy, holy
What is the
shit.
definition of an orb? Something that's round in shape, floating through the
Oh
air.
gosh.
That is the definition. That's
It could be an out of focus
Right. Adrian.
mosquito or whatever.
I don't know if
Definitely.
you know.
A ball of energy
I did not
floating
get you.
across the room.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was interrupting you, but I'm sorry. But I don't know if you know. I never got the opportunity to meet Roger, Amanda, or Josh. But I got stuck for hours investigating with Marcus and Paul.
and that's a bad thing.
Wait,
I'm
you
sorry.
That
said
was very adventurous.
wait, you said stuck?
I was like,
Stuck.
wait a minute, I would love to go investigate with them. What do you mean stuck?
What do you
I
mean
feel
stuck?
stuck.
I feel like you pronounced blessed wrong.
There we go.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd go
So
that
they
far.
are
But
definitely a hoot together.
Fortunate.
But we do a good job. We
Marcus,
do
we're a
thorough
hoot.
and good job.
I don't.
A
Sometimes.
hoot.
Sometimes.
I just like the different dynamics of investigating with other people. Now, of course, I don't have a team anymore. It's just me here. But, going with other teams, I love to see the dynamics. Now, putting two teams together, sometimes that gets a little too much. Yeah.
That's one of the cool things that I appreciate that Marcus does is that when we get some sort of activity in a certain area and then we lose it, he changes the person out to see
Right.
if that change in energy will draw another entity out or not.
Right.
Very cool.
I do think that's very correct, because just like we as humans, whatever the hell we are, we draw certain people, and other people we repel because of our personalities, or whatever the case might be. They may not have ever
Or
done anything
whoever's
to us.
following you,
Huh?
or whoever is with you at the time. Not people, but
Right.
spirit.
If you've
You
done
know,
attachment.
My grandfather was a cop, and he's always with me, and so I always have an issue with the jails at getting communication because he's with me and he turns them off.
Right. I think this is one of you all's Charlie Sue.
That's me.
That's
Okay.
That's
And then-
alternate ego.
Josh Garham. I'm still here. I'm in the comments. Okay, great. He's still here at least.
Yep.
So yeah,
Josh is still with us. He's still with us. Are you still with us, Josh?
Which side are you on here? Are we on this side now or this side right now?
Yes.
The teenagers get you?
So I mean, we did the whole, I told you a couple of years back. Todd and Leanne had showed me the 360 method, and we did that at the jail down in Natchez. Did the 360 method to try to change it up to see who could get the responses. Who was it that was getting the responses? Was it? Didn't we have a specific person that was?
I don't remember. Somebody was getting responses. I know it wasn't me. They didn't
It
like
was
me.
David.
It's really strange who they pick. I mean, there's really not a rhyme or reason to it that we would understand, because like my first experience was Old Park Hotel in Ballinger, and of course, me not knowing anything, I'm sitting here. I found out that one certain entity was supposed to be there, so I'm doing all this research on this entity. And in his lifetime, I go in there like I know what I'm doing. And I call out his name, his wife's name, his horse's name, his last words when he died, what he was wearing.
Wow.
So he just thought you were a stalker.
Huh?
He thought you were a stalker.
Yeah, you were a stalker.
I'm sure he thought something. But
He's like,
I'm also
why does this
sure-
woman know all my stuff? Let me turn
Yeah.
on. Haha, there we go.
I'm also sure he knew when I was doing it, because I kept thinking, and this guy's a murderer, no two ways about it. He was an old cowboy, and he did his share of bad things, but I kept thinking,
And he was in a brothel.
yeah, well, I kept thinking, maybe he's hungry, maybe he did this for a reason, because he actually portrayed himself as a good guy, and people believed it. They called him Deacon, because he went to church every Sunday, and then he did things, but he ended up following me home. I never expected that. It was 2 weeks later, but I never expected that. And then he tried to kill my husband at the time.
What?
So I was like, okay, we got to stop doing this kind of stuff. That
Is this after you started liking your husband?
No. I'm divorced from him. That was before I hated him, but
Sure, the ghost tried to kill him.
That's what we've been saying.
He was like, I know you did this. I'm like, I was asleep. I did not. Can't
Just
prove
like, just like her vape got replaced with eyedropper.
it. It's safer anyway. Yeah, whatever.
That's funny.
And it was eardrops, Paul. Thank you very much.
Oh, my bad.
Would you say nose drops?
Eye
He said
drops.
eye drops.
Eye, nose, ear. You can put it all in this whatever crevice.
Don't finish that sentence. Hey, you're in Colorado. You need to set us up with investigating an old abandoned gold town.
I am
Oh.
actually looking into that.
But
Because-
also the Abbey.
Have generator will travel.
I can do that with the Abbey. I can. They're not going to be doing too many more. That place is about to fall down. It's done.
Okay.
Well, then we need to get in there.
We do. And they are still doing it right now. So we can.
We went up to Colorado. I don't know where you are in Colorado, but we went
Greeley.
to I don't know.
Wait, did you say Greeley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an hour from Denver.
My brother lives in Fort Collins.
That place is I love that place.
And his wife's from Loveless. Which one
Loveland. Yes.
is it? Loveland, yes.
Good fishing area in Loveland.
So, Mr. Anton Ritter asked the question if any of us have experienced music playing from an unlocatable source. I have.
In my bedroom.
And I know that I think Josh would agree with me saying that was at the hospital in Yorktown. That was really cool. We experienced some noise that we couldn't quite identify downstairs, and it sounded like a music box.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I
that was
love
really cool.
those. I love those. I think what you're talking about is a little more than like sometimes I'll just hear music, but it's not identifiable, such as, you can't hear the words. You can kind of hear the melody, but
Right.
you can't hear words. You can't
Right.
hear.
100%.
And I get that
Yes,
almost
I-
every night.
I was reviewing evidence one time when I used to investigate the Mississippi House, and we were reviewing the evidence. Never heard it there, but it was like almost like ballroom music. And actually, my son Logan picked it up, and I had to go back and listen. I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's ballroom music on here."
Very cool.
Would that be the era for that house? Or
No.
any connection?
That's the house that they can't figure out what era anything is. It's like there nothing in that house makes sense with the house itself, so everything's the land.
Okay.
Well, let me rephrase that. I truly believe it's the land.
Right. Yeah, Marcus, I'm looking into that right now. So
Okay,
I will get a couple and get permission
for sure.
for a couple.
For sure.
And then I will message you with, which ones we got, and
For
we
sure.
can go from there.
So
I gotta-
we are fixing to launch season 4 in October.
Okay.
And we are beginning to film season 5 already. So I just sent Jeremy our season 4 intro, and we haven't shown anybody this. So if you guys would like to see it, he has it.
Hey,
And
Jeremy.
Well, he could play it. He is
we
like
love to share
slacking
it.
on his. He is slacking.
So yeah, no, we can play it. If Jeremy wants to roll it, we can roll it.
Anton, okay, what I love about that is the skeptic jumping.
That's me.
Uh-huh.
Stuff does happen that makes you jump.
It sure does.
Definitely.
Was it sketchy or glitchy for everybody, or just me?
No, it was
Just-
perfect for me.
Yeah, no, it was clean.
I had internet glitches, but it wasn't your episode. It was the glitch. It was.
I think that's that Lagacine glitch you got.
Oh, could be.
the lack
Over
of
at the
lag.
scene.
Yeah. So we filmed that under our I-10, our Interstate 10 bridge, which is fixing to be replaced.
It's
Hopefully.
been
Replaced.
condemned for 50 years, but we use it every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
The bridge was initially built for Highway 90. It was a state
Yes.
highway, but it's been
Hence
going
the
for
police sign?
1952, I think, is when they built it, or 56, something like that. And there's way too much traffic on it, and it's falling apart. There's holes in it, and concrete falls from underneath into the water below. It's wild.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
That made everybody look really good.
Yeah. So we
It is the interstate, though, so you have to drive across it.
So, of course, the new bridge is going to be next to it. They're not going to demolish the old bridge, and it's going to be a toll bridge.
Oh,
Right.
of course it is.
So, good times.
I have
Welcome
issues with
to
those.
Louisiana.
Me too.
I was looking at you changed your thing,
Me? Yeah.
your little
Okay.
title.
Huh?
Play it again!
It plays good. Jeremy, if you can, I would like for you to play it at the end as well.
To close it out.
Yeah.
Where'd Morgan go? She gave up.
So no, Morgan is
You don't have
I'm
to
not
tell me.
sure.
I was just making a joke. She always disappears before. And she just the Irish goodbye.
right.
She's such a sweetheart, though. I really like her energy. She's such a sweetheart.
Oh, she is. I'm blessed.
She's
for
like
sure.
champagne, always bubbly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wish
yeah.
I could be that way. I'm not. I have no filter, and I just have to be me. I think I should have been a male. I don't know, but
Ooh.
No,
I guess in this day and age, I can change it if I want to.
No, we need more females to be like that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, we need more people to be like
Probably
that.
can't
Doesn't
see
matter
that.
male or female.
Oh, we
But-
can't read that.
Lucky.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Oh, we can't. That what?
We would dance in the grave of patriarchy and drink the bitter tears of mediocre men.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get the Buckies.
Amanda, just remember in your title, your suitcase girl.
Suitcase girl. That's what it
I
says.
I thought
I
she
am
was a
suitcase girl. What's wrong with that?
I know you picked that up at Myrtle's.
She's
Mhm.
also HR.
She is HR. There's no doubt. But no, you absorbed that title. Actually, you created that title.
I did create that title. Yeah. Because he's the backpack guy. I'm the suitcase girl.
What was your Myrtle's was your first investigation with us, wasn't it?
It was my very first investigation, yeah. And I still don't know how I feel about ghosts in general.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I do or don't. There's not always something there to feel, but when it's there, it's definitely there.
Stay that way.
I'm
Stay that way. That's perfect, because then you're skeptic as you go in, and if you feel it, you feel it. You don't go in thinking,
Well,
I'm gonna
like Paul said, there are things that scare you, and that's it.
definitely.
well. I'm a believer in the spirits and all. I'm a skeptic on evidence.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair
You're a
statement.
skeptic of advocates. Is that what you said?
Yes, that too, but evidence.
Oh, evidence.
I'm gonna go through evidence like crazy because you know, I mean, now if I'm there, I know what was going on, but I'm gonna look through every nook and cranny of some evidence. Oh,
Right.
look,
Dude,
I went to where was I? Orange Beach area. I got me some malachite. Adrian.
Oh wow. Where'd you get that at?
Are we showing the crystals
I
now?
was in
Get the camera.
Orange Beach, Pensacola area.
Malachite, isn't that an Amish man? Malachite?
Yeah.
It's against the law for you to purchase men now. Okay.
No.
You can't do that.
He was from Children of the Corn. Malachi.
That's right.
so I do want to come back to the corn, but but I do want Amanda to share a little bit about her first experience. So
It's a cool story.
if there was anything your first time going at Myrtle's, if there was anything that happened that made you say, you know what, I think that this is real, what would it have been? What experience did you have?
Well, first of all, the SLS camera, that's the stick figure one, right?
Yeah.
That's the stick
Yes.
figure. That, to me, that is like evidence, because you can't, it's just there, you know, you can clearly see you and you can clearly see something else. So we had some really good evidence on that. And whenever I put my hand out, this would put its hand out, and I could feel that static on the tips of my fingers. And I had never felt that before. So it was a completely different feeling. And since I had never felt that before, I knew it had to have been something different than anything else. So that was, yeah. And then the fact that I couldn't sleep in my own room.
Hey, that's me.
I thought I was going to sleep in my own room that night, but I most certainly didn't.
Who'd you sleep with?
I don't know.
And
I barely slept. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that was a long night. So, for me, one of the coolest things about what we do is the history, learning about just the past and things that have happened and have come to pass, and trying to find a link to be able to walk in history, you know? And so Roger's not his first investigation, which went very well, but his second investigation, I think he had a phenomenal conversation with one of the founding fathers of our city, and that was really cool. That was at Bilbo Cemetery.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
You mean the mosquito magnet?
Oh my
The
God.
mosquito magnet.
I didn't get bothered by the mosquitoes.
I guess you didn't.
So I had a just to let everybody know, I had a jar spray bottle of some really strong mosquito deterrent in my back pocket, but I forgot it there and I sat in the truck and it burst. So my pants were covered in this
Oh my
high octane mosquito repellent. So I didn't get bothered by mosquitoes. Everybody else was getting torn up. And it's moggy. Everything, it had just rained. It was all watery and everything. And pardon me, this one grave was inhabited by John Jacob Ryan, who our main street in Lake Charles is named after Ryan Street. And we had the S-Box set up. We had the obelisk set up and sitting there having a conversation. And like I said before, we'd tried different people to get some sort of activity. And it's started getting responses on both. And we heard several different voices. I was asking, the simple yes, no questions. John Jacob Ryan, what do you like to go by, John or Jacob? And if I recall, he said John. So in the S-Box, it actually stopped on a frequency that said John. Clear as day, which is wild. And then there was a deeper voice. Say again? Oh, was that me? Oh.
Yes.
So, and then we heard a tiny boy in there. And once we heard the tiny boy, all the other voices stopped. So it was a very cool experience. And like I said, I go into it unbiased, not expecting anything. I'm not a skeptic. I am a believer that there are certain energies present all around us all the time. We just can't see it through our spectrum of view. And, the energies that we give off, I liken it to an aura of that person. So if you meet someone for the first time and you're like, there's something about this person I just really don't like, that's the energy they're giving off. But if you could actually see their energy, it's an aura glowing around that person. That's my belief. But from someone with an electrical background, well-versed in electromagnetic fields, I believe that to be true. And it was just, it's very cool experience. I've had, when I was younger, physical contact with shadow people, and seeing things out of your peripheral, because that's a different frequency. So we can't see the same frame rate looking straight than we do looking at a peripheral. So it's a different frame rate. So if things are moving slower or faster, we may be picking those up, in my opinion, once again, because you can't really test it. Everything is subjective when it comes to what, we all do. But the evidence that we see, even though it's subjective, it's pretty compelling evidence that there's another realm out there somewhere that we can experience, maybe not see, maybe not hear, but with the right tools and the right mindset and right energy, you can experience those. So,
Yeah, that's like children. There was a girl I went to school with, probably fourth grade, third or fourth. And she came to school one day, and this is something I'll never forget, because now what I do correlates with what she did. She went to the teacher one day and she said, after school, and she said, "I saw you last night. Why were you crying?" And
Wow.
the teacher was like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, I saw you. You were sitting on your bed and you were crying.
Wow.
Well, what she didn't know was the teacher really was. She was going through a divorce. And the little girl, she asked her, she said, why do you say that? What? She goes, I saw you. I was at your window last night. And so she called her mom and she's like, hey, this is what happened. And this is what she's telling me. And she said, look, you know, she's 7 years old. She did not leave her room last night. We sure didn't go on the other side of town. And she's not looking through your window, if that's what you're insinuating. And she told her what she was wearing, everything. And she said, and I saw you were drinking wine.
And the teacher confirmed everything?
To the mother, she did.
Wow.
And she told the little girl, she said, I don't know what you're talking about, sweetheart. Maybe you had a dream, and left it at that. I wish she hadn't have done that, because the little girl, come to find out later, she was astral projecting, and to this day can still do that.
Wow.
But had no control over where she was going. Apparently she felt needed there. I don't know. But you know, that tells you that there's a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
What we know.
Guys,
Child.
4:30 is going to be here before I know it. I told you I had about an hour in me today. I got to work another property tomorrow, so I got to get to my property early in the morning to do my job. But
stop taking all that overtime. You're getting less than minimum wage at this point for the hours you're working.
Baby, I'm salary. So I'm fixing to jet out, hit the sack. Marcus, I joke with you. Loves to mean it. Paul, you are who you are.
We got it.
It was great meeting y'all. Sorry, I'm so out of it. Adrian, you are who you are. So, mwah. I love y'all.
Nice meeting y'all later.
Good night. Oh,
And then there were 5.
that woman, she has been working way too many hours, and if she breaks it down, she's making less than minimum wage at this point. She's got to stop.
Wow.
But you know, good jobs are hard to come by, so you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Whatever. I actually also have, I was trying to think, I also have places in New Mexico that are Indian territory. I used to live there. One of my best friends has connections to almost,
Did we lose
there are
Mark?
places that nobody should have connections to, because her husband is a pipeliner and he gets to go places. What was that?
I don't know what happened.
No, neither.
Okay,
Oh,
I was afraid it was mine. But yeah, so we have New Mexico. The Indian things that happen in New Mexico, where my friend lives, is unreal. But we have 4 ghost towns we're looking into here. So
You need extra investigators to help you investigate those. I know it.
no,
That's
I
right.
need you guys to come down, because I can't do it by myself. I will not do it by myself. I will
Exactly.
not.
I'm going to bring my metal detector and my pan. We're going to make some gold out of this.
We actually have access to a gold mining town in California as well.
Oh, no. See, California's out for me.
Yeah, I don't like California. I
Nope.
lived there for 4 months.
Just don't pay the taxes. Can I answer a couple of comment questions?
Of course.
Yes.
First off, and Tom, the thumbs up, I guess, was what I was talking about, I'm assuming, Mr. Ritter. Sean Fennel. I've put together a, God, just keep hearing my own voice. I don't like it. So what I do is one of the things that Marcus wanted me to do was hook up. I don't know that I can hear y'all now. It's a couple of guitar pedals hooked up to the SLS. I mean, to the Spirit Box, the S Box, just to get rid of the thing on the S Box,
That
which
would be
is
so nice.
it's so annoying.
Yeah.
But what these two pedals do, one is a compression pedal and the other one's an effect pedal. So the compression pedal gets rid of, it attenuates the that you hear. So you can turn it down just enough to where you don't hear that static, that alternating static. But if there's a strong signal that comes in, it will play that. And then the Hall effect pedal, the effects pedal, you can put in a Hall effect, so it kind of slows it down a little bit. So if anybody are guitar players, I am not. I just looked it up on the internet, how to put one together. Marcus, looked it up too, and we found a pretty decent instructional video how to hook it up, and it works. It works pretty darn good. Thank you, Anton. The other things I've made, which I just tested out once, it's a tiny little transistor that's hooked up with a tiny LED snapped on top of a 9-volt battery, and the gate of the transistor, if anybody's familiar with electronics, is actually the antenna, and it just picks up surrounding polarities. So the one that I made, I'm going to make one with a different polarity, but the one that I made, the light comes on when you have a positive energy. So it's hooked up, the LED light is on. If you touch or come close to that antenna, it's going to shut that light off. So I'm trying to find one to where when it's hooked up, the light is not on until you get a certain polarity. And then make another one that if you have, when it's hooked up, you have the light on with a negative polarity. And then whenever a positive electromagnetic field comes near it, the light shuts off. I want it to work the other way, and I'm still doing some research on that. So, yeah, that's what I've slowly been working on. I want to create a new type of periscope. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the periscope, and it also measures electromagnetic fields. I also have, and Marcus has one too, electromagnetic field meter to measure temperature and electromagnetic fields, and not just EMF, but also voltage. So it's a pretty cool device. Super cheap. I mean, mine was. Marcus, I don't know how much yours was. But very handy to have. And the temperature reading on it thing is pretty cool too, because if you get a high EMF, you can check the temperature to see if the temperature dropped or rose, as compared to what it was. So lots of cool gadgets to play around with, just trying to find something that can be beneficial. Once again, it's all subjective, but EMF can come from anything. That's why I like being in the house on Pine Street, because there was no electricity at this house. So there was nothing except for our own gear. So there was nothing that can interfere with the EMF in this house. So it was nice to see some spikes in the EMF meter walking through, especially that one bathroom that was upstairs in that creepy room.
That's right.
Yeah. So lots of cool stuff. Sorry, Adrian, go ahead.
Oh no, Stuart, we got you, bub. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. We got you. Eileen had a question for y'all though before she goes to bed. She said, "Before I go to sleep, I have a question."
Oh, she left the chat. It's too late.
With the anniversary of Katrina, do you see more activity in Louisiana during this time?
Oh, interesting.
I would say
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Amanda.
Well, I was going to say, we're kind of far away from New Orleans, but we do have an investigation coming up, which is going to be closer to Hurricane Rita anniversary, which is right here, which was right here. And so we'll definitely keep that in mind whenever we go to investigate, because it's going to be closer to right around the same time. As far as ghosts go, I can't speak for them, but me personally, my body has held that trauma. I know whenever it was Rita, I know whenever it was Laura. I still have like survivor's guilt from that. So like different things will happen around that time where, for me, I can feel it. I don't know if that's a ghost, but
Mhm.
I can definitely feel it in my own personal body.
But
Right.
even if, and let's just say that it's not a ghost, right? Let's just exclude the word ghost altogether.
Right.
There is definitely an energy that changes. If nothing else,
Right.
there is an energy
Associated with that.
changes, right?
What's in the trauma body for me,
Right.
Right.
I do want to say one thing about that. We all live in Southwest Louisiana, closer to Texas. Katrina happened in New Orleans. What a lot of America completely forgets about is 2 weeks after Katrina, we were hit by the same size hurricane in Southwest Louisiana called Rita. And the media just completely overlooks Rita altogether. And it was just as devastating to our area as Katrina was to New Orleans.
Mhm.
So when we talk hurricanes, it's all about Rita for us, because it completely changed the landscape of our area. Completely changed our landscape. So I agree with Amanda on that. As far as ghost or the paranormal, I don't know, but definitely if you live through something like that, you can sense it's coming even without even remembering the date. It's just your body remembers, hey, at this time, this is what was going on. We just passed, 3 years ago in 2020, Hurricane Laura passed through here, one of the largest hurricanes to ever hit the United States. And it destroyed everything. And the last couple of weeks have just, I didn't think about it until just now, but I think that's why my whole body's just been off, because that was trauma. I mean, my mother-in-law's house, we had to completely gut and redo the inside because it was destroyed. My mom's house, my house, everybody, just about everybody I knew had damage to their house. So I think because the living have that much trauma, I'm pretty sure the paranormal world has it too.
That's
And
what I
now,
was wondering.
and
Is-
now I'm wondering about our investigation coming up, because it
Yeah.
is around that mark. I have never thought about trying to put that two together, but we've got to add that to our questions.
You know
and see if
what?
they
We need
remember
to
that.
write that down.
Yeah, we need to add that, because that is something. If it's traumatizing to us, it's got. What are you doing, Amanda?
He's writing it down.
She's typing.
And that's a good point you brought up, because I've never been through anything like that. So I didn't realize that your, I guess, subconscious feels it regardless of whether your conscious knows it.
Well,
Oh,
think
absolutely.
about it like this. When there's a traumatic death, right? Like a murder or a whatever, there's a traumatic death. It puts an imprint on that location. Well, what's the difference in a traumatic event to the earth in that location, right?
Yeah.
So if everything is made of energy, everything has an energy source, then if you disrupt that energy with a large weather event, it's going to leave a mark in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's only landscape changing, it's going to leave a mark. So why wouldn't it disrupt that energy and therefore become residual energy change, for an annual basis?
Right. And then you have Facebook that reminds you every year of every
Yeah.
that ever happens to
And
you.
there's that.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing? Sean, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Anton Ritter. PMPs and NPNs, in case some of y'all don't know that, that's the SCR is the positive, negative, positive semiconductors sandwiched together, and the negative, positive, negatives sandwiched together. So the middle part is going to be the gate. That would be your antenna. And yes, I do use the field effect transistor, the FETs, that are either NPNs or PNPs. And then the gate is going to be what opens or closes that circuit to turn that light on or shut it off. So yeah, cool. I'm glad somebody knows something about. I just love it when people know stuff. I know a little about a lot. I wish I knew a lot about a little, but I much more enjoy knowing a little about a lot. So
Yeah. So the comment you made, Anton, a little bit ago, you said
Yes.
let me scroll back down. You said you build, they're easy to build. Yeah, they're easy to build. I use noise gate and reverb. I also use
that was
power
Rich.
bank.
Yeah.
Okay. Rich. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's the guitar pedal I was talking about.
Okay.
So the noise
So-
gate is the one that attenuates that that you hear on the S box.
Uh-huh.
So it gets rid of that up to a point, kind of like a CD radio. You can turn down
Mhm.
the squawk on it just until it stops transmitting the static, right?
Right.
And then the other pedal, he uses reverb. I like the Hall effect. There's another one that I've been trying to play around with to see. I just got to get an S box here, Marcus,
Mhm.
so I can work on that and see which one's going to work the best. But the Hall effect, I think, kind of slows it down. So if a signal does come through that's over that attenuation mark, it's going to last a little bit longer. So, Rich, I don't know if you've ever played around with the Hall effect, but I think that would be pretty cool. I'm only saying that because I saw it in the instructional video. And yeah, we use power banks also instead of AA batteries. Marcus has a great setup with everything he has. Power banks, batteries for cameras, and blah blah blah. I have one thing that I use for the one with the two pedals and the S box. It's a power bank that can jump off a car, so it has a 120 volt inverter in it also. So it lasts a long time. Allegedly, it can jump like 100 something cars in one charge. Haven't tried it, but I have jumped many cars that were dead, had dead batteries. So I use that for the 120 power and for the 5 volt power for the other things. So yeah, there's all kinds of things to use. AA batteries, they don't last that long. They're small. Power banks, way to go. Lithium ion, way to go. Something
Yeah,
lasts long.
so, yeah, Rich, if you play around with that, you find it works, let me know. I will buy it from you. This girl
And-
can't do this.
And then let us know.
Yeah, because this girl can't. No.
Jeremy asked a great question that I think I want Amanda to answer. Anton says, Roger, thanks. Have you looked at SMDs? But I want Amanda to answer Jeremy real quick.
Question I have about hurricane effect on everyone who has emotions feel guilty.
Read it out after the class.
What? I feel the same way about people being so into the moment to the point that they cause themselves to have anxiety attacks during investigations and they feel like they're being attacked. Not all of them, though. Right. Yeah. I do believe that if your body holds the trauma, whether you're aware of it consciously or not. And I do believe that does affect how the energy around you works, just like a drop of water makes the ripple effect. I mean, that's exactly the whole premise for everything, right? So it affects the static in the air and moves everything around from that point outward. And I do think that people can work themselves up or work themselves down. Being apathetic with no emotions at all would probably, but even like Paul, he's not, even though he's a skeptic, he's not apathetic. It's not that he can't feel or that he's choosing not to feel. He still
Are you
has a
sure?
feeling or an emotion.
Are you sure about that?
You care. I've seen it. And then Haley's kind of the same way. The weight that you bring in is sort of how she thinks about it. Like any kind of unresolved trauma. And you don't even know sometimes that you have unresolved trauma. It's just stored up in the body. I have a lot of, my mom and I were just having a conversation the other day, and she was like, "You don't remember that?" And I'm like, "I don't remember it. Obviously, there was some kind of trauma attached to it, but my body remembers it." And so, as we're working through that, then yeah, things are moving along and continuing their flow from there. I think Roger is a perfect example. Pretty traumatic childhood that he had. Possibly opens him up. See, he and I do trauma differently. Whereas he remembers a lot of his trauma, I don't remember. Like, I just completely block it out. But he doesn't block it out. And so that makes him like he has more engagement than I have whenever we go on an investigation, because he is a little bit more, maybe he is a little bit more open to that world of accepting those types of things. Did that make any sense?
Yeah, it made great sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
not.
Great.
Yeah.
Or not?
And that's the thing. We all deal with it so differently. And I'm a little different with, I believe that, do I believe that we do? I don't know about that part, but that we can reincarnate. Yes, I do think we can. Soul contracts. I do believe in all that. But there's lessons we have to learn while we're here. And some days you go, because my mom died when I was 8 years old. So what that caused for me was feeling shut down completely. Like, okay, this happened. All right, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's move on. That's the wrong way to deal with it. I'm going to put that disclaimer out right now. That's the wrong way to do it, because you don't deal with it. But I think that there are things we have to learn. And if we've learned them before, we don't do it again. And that causes shut down. I don't know.
Well, and the body is going to put itself into survival mode. So even if your body did shut down, it's not necessarily, it wasn't the wrong way to deal with it. It was the way that your body dealt with it to keep you alive in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that's deep right there.
The bad part is that,
But it's true.
even 40 some years later, we're just going to go with that. You still deal with it the same way. It's like an automatic response. And
Right. Yeah. You've got a pattern. You've got built into your body. That's like a recurring back pain at a certain time of the year. If you start to track these things, then you probably realize that it happens around the same time every year. You might get off of your diet at the same time every year, or your exercise routine, or your back hurts, or your foot hurts. Oh, it's the weather. Well, no, not necessarily. Maybe if you think back to what actually happened the first time you felt that pain, then you could connect the dots.
journals are wonderful things if we could just keep up with them.
Can I say something?
Of course.
Just to respond to the messages, because I can't join the chat through.
Well, I tried to. That's what I was doing, and then Jeremy.
So I have to do it. I have to do it through vocalizing it. So first off, Anton Ritter, you're welcome. SMDs, I've never heard of those. I made a note of it. I'm gonna look it up. I don't know are those related to WMDs. I don't know. But I haven't used those. I can work on building one if you want me to. Small mass destruction. But I will look into that. Thank you. And Rich, the volume on the SBox, ours does not go up and down on its own. It just has a potentiometer. Turn up the volume just like you have on your radio. And it, that sound we all love.
Yeah, I have not experienced the volume change on our SBox.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think what you're asking is if it has happened on its own, like paranormal ones. I've not experienced that.
No, now the voices will get deeper or higher, but it stays at a volume annoying.
Yeah.
Ooh. Can I tell this story? When we were at location in Lake Charles, we were listening to the SBox, and we kept hearing, I heard a lot of birds for some reason. And then remember, I wanted to walk outside to my truck and tune into that AM station
Right.
where we kept getting a lot of answers to our questions, like legit answers. And I go out to my truck and I finally found kind of close, because the Xbox goes in a tighter frequency. Like it's not every half frequency that you have in your car radio. So I found it, and believe it or not, the voices we were getting a lot to answer our questions when we asked the Xbox came from Coast to Coast with George Norrie, and the woman that was his guest on the show was talking about having experiences with paranormal entities. How wild is that? That was cool to me. I got goosebumps sitting in my truck. So, and I couldn't wait to go back in and tell you guys.
And then as soon as you came in, it said your name.
Oh yeah. Oh, and you tripped.
That was at
Marcus.
Rosa. Where was that at?
That was at Rosa Hart.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That was so. That theater has such a cool historic story, and when Roger came back in and I fell and it said your name and all of these things happened at the same time. That was.
Did it tell you to stop? Didn't it tell you to stop first and then you tripped?
Yeah.
I thought it said stop, and you kept going up the stairs and you tripped, and then I walked up and it said my name, and then it said no liberty.
Yeah, no liberty. That's right. Roger, no liberty. That's right. Or liberty none. Liberty none.
Liberty none. And
That's what it was.
what makes that special is that this is the first year, because we always do something for the 4th of July, and this was just like a week or two after the 4th of July, correct? I think
Right.
so.
Right.
First year, I did nothing for 4th of July. 4th of July, Liberty, and I didn't do anything. So Liberty none. Right after it said my name and told Marcus to stop. He didn't stop, and he tripped walking upstairs, which, Marcus.
Well,
It can happen.
what most
If
people
you're Joe
don't know,
Biden,
what
Well,
what most people don't know about me is that I do teach ballroom dancing. So I am actually very
Sure-footed.
comfortable in my balance and very sure-footed. So falling going upstairs was for me it was a little weird. It did feel like something stopped me. And I see another question about an Xbox. So just to keep up with it, I've experienced several things turning on and off by themselves. Lights being one of them, a radio being one of them. So I see no reason why, if there is something from the other side doing it, if it is paranormal, that I see no reason why it couldn't turn on an Xbox if that is the case. Yeah, I don't see a reason that it would not happen.
so the Xbox that I have, you don't even have to touch it. You just put your finger near it, and
Yep.
it's picking up the static electricity from your finger or the heat, whatever it may be. It's Microsoft, so they're into some weird stuff. So, but you don't even have to touch it. It's going to pick up that energy from you and turn it on. So if it gets close enough to that button, it's going to come on. One more thing. Who was it? Antone. SMD is not small mass destruction. It's surface mount device. So that could be any device. Marcus wants me to finish building it and have it recessed in a more compact box. So I'm going to work on that. But thank you. I'll look into all of that. I don't know what devices you're talking about. I know you said last question or last message, but I don't care. I like questions. I'm a teacher. So
Haley, sometimes I believe Morgan feels like she blocks activity because of her positive light. I think sometimes positive light brings things to you, therefore you have to block, because otherwise you're going to be busy and you won't get to live your life.
yep.
I
And
agree with
Rich,
that.
we don't have a Connect. That's creepy. That's too creepy. The SLS is creepy enough. I don't want to have one in my house. But yeah, but even just the button on the Xbox, and I have the old school
Mhm.
one Xbox One. So, but you can
The
just
one
come
that
close.
has the little black button that has the little lights through it, and you go to
Yeah.
adjust it, and it comes on and opens up. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one I have too, and I've never turned it on except dusting.
All great question, guys. These were great.
If the
Yeah,
Kinect
no, they really are.
is on the Xbox, it can do a facial request.
Yeah, that's what I was responding to. The Connect. That's what the
Yeah.
SLS is.
Okay.
Correct, Marcus?
Yes, sir.
That's what the Connect device is on the Xbox. Is the SLS?
That's correct. Yeah, yeah, it's an Xbox One Connect. Yeah.
And then Sean, you said Bernie used to work with me in the youth room at church for the TV use TV would the TV would turn on by itself. Gotcha.
Wow, that's interesting.
So does anybody on your team do pendulums?
What about pendulums?
Does anybody on your team do those? Use them?
So, I have a pendulum that I have used. I've not put it on any of our episodes.
Wow, Sean. Sorry.
Due to my uncomfortability with the results.
Mm-hmm.
So we are very and I can thank Paul for keeping me honest all the time. We are very much about reality. So if it didn't happen, it doesn't go on our show.
Right.
Our show is 100% accurate as to what happened while we were there and what we experienced.
Right.
And I do believe that the pendulum works. I do believe that dowsing rods work. I have a set of those as well, and I work with those. But as far as it being on our show, it's not there yet. I'm not there yet as a user. So that's my own personal struggle. Yeah.
So the reason I'm asking that, I have a 80-some-year-old mentor who started out with his mother in their living room doing seances, and she would use that. So he tried to get me to use it, and I'm like, I'm not convinced that I'm not trying to predict the answer and making it move that way subconsciously.
That's what I was about to say. The pendulum is more about finding your inner yes or no.
Right.
That's my
Or for me, it is anyways.
Right.
Yeah, that's my skepticism. Dowsing rods, pendulums. If you want it to do a certain thing, you might not even realize you're doing it, but subconsciously your body's answering that for you. So that's my thing about it.
Right.
Just like well, it's just like for equipment. We there's right now, if you look on your app for your phone, there's hundreds of apps right now to do a lot of the stuff that we do. And we were on a hunt and somebody was using that, and he blatantly told us, he goes, I wasn't getting any answers, so I went in and I changed the settings, and now this thing's going off all the time. Well, you just told it to go off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's not a true reading. If you can adjust what its sensitivity to where it starts spitting out words, I think you're manipulating the situation just because you want response. And we want response, but we want it to be an honest response.
Bless their hearts. I can't believe they believe some of that stuff. But the only way I'll use a pendulum is I put it on a hanger. I built a little hanger for it. And
very
put
cool.
Sand.
Yes. Now that, if it's not in someone's hand and it started moving, yes. Okay. Me and the pendulum would become one. But when somebody's holding it, and we've witnessed, we've watched people do pendulums, and in my mind, I'm thinking, how do I know they're not because it wouldn't take a whole lot of effort in your hand to make that pendulum move after a little bit.
Right.
So you won't even recognize the movement, and then all of a sudden this pendulum's moving. So you're thinking, oh my gosh, but even the person doing it might not know they're doing it, but subconsciously their body can make that movement.
That's
Well,
that's my
yeah.
theory. I know that I might be doing it, and because I'm anticipating that answer. Of course, my mentor says that's what's supposed to happen. Spirit is telling you the answer.
The
Well,
inner, yeah. I didn't even know I didn't even know that a pendulum was used in paranormal activity. I've used a pendulum, but like I said, it's only for an inner, for a vagus system type of response, to get an inner knowing, yes or no. For other things, I didn't even know that was a thing in the paranormal world.
well,
The theory behind a pendulum and also dowsing rods. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Adrian. But the theory is
It was stuff in
that
her face anyway.
We've got about 12 minutes left, guys.
if you are holding the pendulum through your fingers, right, or if you're holding the dowsing rods in your hand, the energy that you being grounded, the energy that goes through you, if they want to move the pendulum through you, they will manipulate your muscles through energy, right? Because our muscles move because of an energy impulse, right?
Right.
So they will create that and make the movement happen. However, that's only one theory. There's another theory that subscribes that they move it themselves, which is where Adrian's at with her device. So I would subscribe more to the energy idea due to the fact that I'm a big believer in energy and energy manipulation. So that's where I'm at with that, but I'm not yet comfortable doing it on film because I don't trust that I'm not moving it. And until I get to that point, I won't put it on our show.
I like what she said about setting it up on like a tripod and hanging it over some sand, by all means.
Right. And so there's the two different subscriptions, right? One is using energy through us, and one is using manipulation of a physical object, right? Right.
It's like holding the obelisk in your hand is going to go crazy, but if you set it in a spot that maybe a little hot, it's going to pick up what's in that spot and not what's coming from you.
Right. I like to hold the obelisk just to see what it says about me.
Right, I know.
Right.
Just to see what my energy is saying.
I would love to put the two theories together on lots of those things and do
For sure.
research on it and document.
For sure. And
that could
if
be
we
a documentation that we could do in the ghost town when we go hunt up there in Colorado.
Yep.
right.
Yeah, there
And
is
Roger,
3. And the first one that I saw is one that if you guys want to, kind of research it, look it up a little bit and see if you think that's something that we may want to do is St. Elmo.
St. Elmo's Fire? Or
HR, write that down.
Paul,
It's not
write
a
that
fire,
down.
but
you talking about St. Elmo's Fire?
no, it's not a fire, but it is abandoned and independent.
Oh, it's a location. I thought you were talking about the phenomenon known as St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Good song.
St. Elmo and Independence are 2 that I'm looking at.
St. Elmo and
Roger,
Independence.
Roger doesn't
I'm
know
on
it yet, but if you want him to
Independence.
build a yes/no device, and we can use that with the 2 pendulums, and that would be a great experiment with being able to answer questions about movement. That'd be great.
I do have a yes/no device. Now, how accurate it is, I don't know. I have not really gotten to
Ask
try
it, it'll tell you.
against something.
Ask it if it's accurate, and it'll tell you yes or no.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to go with just that answer.
Yeah. To respond to some of the messages real quick before we have to go, because Jeremy's given us the light at the back of the stage. Jeremy, you are right. Yeah. Pros and cons about everything. Once again, like I said before, everything's subjective, even ourselves.
That's
and
right.
The energy we bring into it. Rich, yes, even your heartbeat can make a pendulum move. I have an app on my phone that measures vibration, and I like to turn it on and just set it on my chest, and you can see a heartbeat. And I like to try and change my breath to skip a heartbeat, but that really only happens when Amanda comes in the room.
Oh,
And
That's why we couldn't be at the same house tonight.
right, exactly. Mr. Ritter, Antone, I took down your email address. I would definitely get in contact with you. Thank you so much. I would love to chat with you also. That's all I have.
Rich is asking what you put at the end of your pendulum. You can buy these, or you can use a crystal. Do you have a recommendation, Adrian, from your mentor that?
Crystal would be cool.
Honestly, he told me myself, I use a crystal that resonates with me.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. You choose a crystal. The ones I've used are crystal. They'll be wrapped in a copper wire sometimes.
He
I use
doesn't do that.
it.
He's like a marble,
Mhm.
anything that will weight down, because that's 80
Yeah.
years ago, 90 years ago.
Yeah. When I was young, we used to use a needle on a thread and we would hang it.
That's how they used to tell the
Good
sex
call,
of a
Jeremy.
child.
Yep.
I agree with Jeremy.
Still waiting on my 2 boys.
Crystal chooses you. That's
Mine
right.
is
That's exactly right.
actually pure brass and copper.
Brass. Yeah. Copper. Yeah.
It uses it channels energy fairly well for me, and that's the one that I use at home only. So I agree with Jeremy though. The crystal chooses you for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the viewers out there, if you're not familiar with crystals, it's a very interesting subject to get into. I was just talking in class today. I teach at a local college, electrical, and piezo crystals. So if you have a barbecue lighter, the one that clicks, there's an actual crystal in there. And what you're doing, you're pulling, compressing a spring, and then releasing a little hammer, and it strikes that crystal, which produces voltage that arcs across the path of the butane blowing out of that lighter. It's wild that something natural like that can produce electricity. We just have to affect it, and you're compressing the structural integrity of that crystal. So yeah, the crystal chooses you. You don't choose the crystal. They can be manipulated by striking quartz crystal. It's going to produce electricity somehow, somewhere. That's why, ancient civilizations, there's lots of crystals everywhere in the past. So I suggest for the listeners or viewers to look into piezo crystals and things like that, and the energies that come from them. That's it.
Yeah, I do crystal healing.
Oh, right on.
And, along with Reiki and all that stuff. But,
Yep.
The energy of the earth, it was given to us by whatever created this earth. I'm not getting into that, but
We need to do another podcast on all of this extra stuff, because Nikola Tesla wanted to tap into the energy of the earth and give it to everybody for free.
Right.
But let's do another podcast.
Yeah. I do want to share one more thing. So the doll that I have, Penelope, that she was a voodoo doll used in voodoo rituals that Morgan doesn't touch and refuses to touch. So this is her. And she was used in a multitude of rituals this way. And
she's quite pretty for a voodoo doll.
She is. So I have yet to remove her from this bag, but she is the one that made a tree fall on my truck. So she's a little terrifying, but I am excited to shoot our haunted episode and our haunted object episode. Yeah. So
she looks like the girl on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in the train station. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
I don't remember.
That's showing our age. No.
I hope it was Penelope.
I think it was Penelope. I want to say it was Princess Penelope or something like that.
Oh my gosh, it was Princess Penelope, wasn't it?
Oh God, no, you're making a Mandela effect.
You're looking it up.
Oh.
Is somebody looking that up?
Not yet.
As always, Jeremy, Adrian, Eileen, and Nick wasn't here, but hey, Josh is back.
Josh is back to say bye. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
He's alive. He had to
Oh.
prove he's alive.
What good timing.
Josh, we can't see you at all, bro.
Turn into a
Oh.
pumpkin.
And Rich
Ah.
Fennell said,
I'm
I just
here.
spotted more gray hairs.
There we go. I
Was
see
that
a
because of
haze.
the golf?
Okay.
Rich, you got to
so
keep them shorter like Josh.
Jeremy says next week we have Denise and Ron Pridemore on the show. They are of Things of Florida and are hosts of the Paranormal Pride. Stop moving. Paranormal Pride Nation Radio. They're amazing. I love those guys. Podcast on Monday and Tuesdays, this network, and on the Bill of Rights Network. Yes. Okay.
Her name was
Thank
Lady
you.
Elaine Fairchild.
How did we all get Penelope? Tell me that.
Oh my gosh.
That's my neighborhood,
Oh my gosh.
Lady Fairchild.
Lady
No.
Guys,
Elaine.
this was so much fun. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you,
Yeah,
Adrian.
thank y'all for
you,
having us.
Eileen. Thank
Well,
you,
Eileen, we
viewers.
appreciate you
Great
watching.
conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure
And
Paul wants to get out of his
guys,
truck.
we will find something and I'll get together. I'm actually looking forward to the ladies seem really amazing. So I'm hoping we all get to investigate.
I have a
At some
phenomenal
point.
team. I can say that.
Yeah, y'all have an amazing team. Y'all have amazing energy.
Thank
How much you really enjoyed? Darlene said she really enjoyed
Yeah.
the show.
That's my mama.
Oh, hi, Mom. And okay, perfect. So, yes,
Yo,
Jeremy,
mama.
will you please play that intro to their next episode?
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.
Watch the promos.
Yes, yes.
Come on,
Yeah.
Jeremy.
What you doing?
You can find us
Do
on
it.
YouTube.
3, 2,
No countdown. It's going to
1.
make it look
Play.
so much fun.
Yeah.